Hello, I'm Dr. David Lee, an internal medicine physician who just turned 85 this year. I still see patients in the morning and tend to my vegetable garden in the afternoon to start each day. Just yesterday, I examined 8 patients in the morning and harvested the cabbage I grew myself in the afternoon. When people see me living this way at my age, many ask, Doctor, do you have some special secret? What's the key to staying so healthy at 85? You've probably wondered the same thing, haven't you? Many people think it's natural for our bodies to weaken as we age. But I think differently. The truth is, I learned a lot from a friend's failure. He was an endocrinologist who worked at the same hospital as me, and he took his diabetes lightly until he eventually lost his sight and needed dialysis. Seeing the look in his eyes as he sat in that wheelchair, I made a promise to myself. Health is something we must protect ourselves. That's why I completely changed my eating habits starting at age 67. The reason I can be this healthy now isn't because of special medications or treatments. It's the result of small daily habits that accumulated over time. Today, I want to share that story with you. It's not complicated or difficult. These are things you can start doing right away, starting today. Dr. Stephen Park was my longtime friend and colleague. He was an endocrinology specialist who had spent his career treating diabetes. He passionately explained the importance of diabetes management to his patients. Diabetes is a vascular disease. If you don't manage it, your eyes, kidneys, and heart will all be damaged. That's what he always told his patients. He was truly an excellent doctor, but he couldn't change his own habits. Using his busy hospital schedule as an excuse, he continued eating late dinners. When stressed, he lived on sweet coffee and snacks, and he often stayed up all night preparing for medical conferences. It's okay, I'm a doctor, so I can take care of my own body. That's what he'd say whenever I worried about him. He was overconfident in his professional knowledge. At first, it was just slightly elevated blood sugar, but over the years, it gradually worsened. His vision became blurry, his urine became foamy, and his toes went numb. Still, he didn't take it seriously. He thought he could control it with simple medication. But without changing his lifestyle, medication alone had its limits. Eventually, at age 65, he lost sight in one eye due to diabetic retinopathy. His kidney function also rapidly declined, and he had to start dialysis. He could no longer play golf, which he had loved his whole life. The last time I saw him sitting in that wheelchair, his words still haunt me. David, if I had practiced what I preached, if I had followed the advice I gave my patients, this wouldn't have happened to me. Those words completely changed my life. I decided I needed to become someone who practices, not just someone with medical knowledge. Do you have something you know is good for your health, but keep putting off? After that incident, I took another look at my own health check results. At age 67, my fasting blood sugar was 110, and my blood pressure was 14/90. I was starting to move outside the normal range. I remembered Dr. Park's condition. I realized I could end up walking the same path if I continued like this. That night, I made an important decision. The first thing I did was empty my refrigerator. I cleared out all the sugary drinks and processed foods. Coke, soda, fruit juices, ice cream. There were more of these than I had realized. Instead, I filled it with vegetables I had grown myself. Lettuce, cabbage, radishes, and carrots from my home garden. I also bought fresh fish, tofu, and brown rice. Starting the next day, I began walking for 10 minutes every day. It was really hard at first. I got out of breath after just a few steps. But I didn't give up. I gradually increased it little by little each day. The biggest change was my breakfast. I replaced the morning routine of just grabbing a cup of coffee because I was too busy with a proper meal. Brown rice with miso soup, kimchi, and a few side dishes. Simple but nutritious meals. Something amazing happened. Within a month, I felt my body becoming lighter. My blood sugar stabilized and my blood pressure began to drop. Most importantly, my mood changed. My heavy body became lighter, and waking up in the morning became a joy. When I got tested again after 3 months, my fasting blood sugar had dropped to 95, and my blood pressure was down to 1,080. That's when I realized health doesn't come from grand treatments or expensive medications, but from small daily practices. Now let me share the specific methods I practiced, one by one. First, never skip breakfast. Skipping breakfast after fasting overnight makes blood sugar control difficult. When you eat lunch after a long fast, your blood sugar spikes dramatically. This is called the dawn phenomenon, when your body tries to absorb more sugar during the next meal due to energy deficiency. One of my patients, 72-year-old Mrs. Margaret Smith, is a good example. When she first came to see me, her fasting blood sugar was 160, This was due to her lifelong habit of skipping breakfast. Just 2 months after she started eating simple breakfasts, her fasting blood sugar dropped by 30 points to 130. The key to breakfast is combining protein, fiber, and healthy fats. One boiled egg with oatmeal and a spoonful of plain yogurt is sufficient. This combination raises blood sugar slowly and maintains satiety for a long time. For practical tips, soak oats in water the night before and just boil an egg in the morning. It takes only 5 minutes. If you're busy, even a handful of nuts and cherry tomatoes will do. Important note, don't eat fruit alone. The fructose in fruit can cause blood sugar spikes. Always combine it with protein or fiber. Second, drink at least 7 glasses of water daily. Adequate water intake is essential for diluting blood sugar and protecting the kidneys. Our bodies are 70% water, and when we're dehydrated, blood becomes sticky, making blood sugar control difficult. Kidney function for filtering waste also decreases. My 75-year-old patient, Mr. Robert Johnson, had severely declined kidney function. His creatinine level had risen to 2.0. After he started drinking enough water, it dropped to 1.2 within 6 months, nearly 60% recovery. The technique for drinking water is important. 1 glass when you wake up, 1 glass 30 minutes before each meal, 1 glass an hour after meals, and the last glass 2 hours before bedtime. Don't drink large amounts at once, sip small amounts frequently. Pay attention to water temperature too. Lukewarm water is better than very cold water. It's gentler on the stomach and absorbs better. You can add a lemon slice or cucumber slices to make it more enjoyable. However, if you have kidney disease or heart failure, you should consult with your doctor about water intake. Drinking too much can actually cause swelling. Third, walk for 10 minutes daily. Walking is the most reliable way to improve insulin sensitivity and stabilize blood sugar. When muscles move, they naturally use glucose for energy, causing blood sugar to drop naturally. It's the best method for controlling blood sugar without medication. Mr. Michael Chen from Boston was taking 3 different diabetes medications. His blood sugar wasn't well controlled, and we were considering insulin injections. After he started walking 30 minutes daily, he was able to reduce his medication by half within a year. The effects of walking are immediate. Just 10 minutes of walking, 30 minutes after a meal can drop blood sugar by about 20 points. This is similar to the effect of half a diabetes pill. I recommend walking in the sunny morning hours. You'll synthesize vitamin D and improve your mood too. When walking, keep your back straight and swing your arms naturally. You don't need to walk fast. A pace where you can have a conversation is sufficient. Foot care is especially important for diabetes patients. Wear comfortable, well-cushioned shoes and always check for cuts or injuries on your feet before and after walking. Even small wounds may not heal well. Which of these 3 practices would you like to start with? First, avoid sweet foods and sugary drinks. Foods and drinks containing sugar cause blood sugar spikes that can overload insulin. When this happens repeatedly, it can worsen diabetes. Once blood sugar rises dramatically, it takes a long time to come back down. One of my patients, Mr. James Wilson, had a habit of drinking 5 cups of instant coffee with sugar daily. His blood sugar was consistently over 200. After switching to unsweetened Americano and changing his snacks to nuts, his blood sugar stabilized in the 140s within 3 months. When you crave something sweet, try unsweetened tea or use cinnamon or vanilla extract. Cinnamon tea has a natural sweet taste and helps with blood sugar control. Adding a drop of vanilla essence to water is also a good method. When buying commercial drinks, always check the ingredient list. Even products labeled sugar-free may contain fructose or other sweeteners. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose can also be problematic with long-term consumption. Be careful with fruit too. While fruit is healthy, diabetes patients need to control portions. Half an apple or 1 slice of pear is appropriate. Avoid grapes and bananas as they're high in sugar. Second, avoid overeating and binge eating. Eating large amounts at once causes blood sugar to skyrocket. There's a limit to how much glucose our body can process at one time. Overeating stores excess sugar as fat while increasing insulin resistance. One of my patients, Mrs. Dorothy Brown, had a lifelong habit of eating large portions from big bowls. Her blood sugar once reached 300. After she started using smaller bowls and reduced her portion sizes to 80%, her blood sugar became much more stable. The key to portion control is the 80% rule. Only eat until you're 80% full. It might feel insufficient at first, but after about 20 minutes, you'll feel satisfied. It takes time for satiety signals to reach the brain. Eating slowly is also important. Chew each bite at least 20 times. Put down your utensils frequently and have conversations while eating. This naturally slows down your pace. Eating quickly leads to overeating before you feel full. If you're taking diabetes medication, be careful about sudden dietary changes. Drastically reducing food intake can cause low blood sugar symptoms. If you experience hand tremors, cold sweats, or dizziness, immediately eat a piece of candy or drink a little juice and consult your doctor. Third, don't neglect stress. Stress releases a hormone called cortisol, which increases insulin resistance. This is why blood sugar rises when you're stressed. Chronic stress is one of the major causes of diabetes worsening. One of my patients, Mr. Paul Anderson, couldn't control his blood sugar at all due to business stress. Increasing medication didn't help. After he started meditation and focused on stress management, his blood sugar noticeably stabilized. Now he's reduced his medication and is living healthily. Stress relief methods vary by person, but the most effective is breathing meditation. Try inhaling for 4 seconds, holding for 4 seconds, then exhaling over 4 seconds. Repeat this 10 times. You'll immediately feel your mind calming. Listening to music or taking short walks are also good methods. Listening to favorite music releases endorphins while reducing stress hormones. Walking provides both exercise benefits and stress relief simultaneously. The important thing is not to try to suppress stress. Suppression only makes it build up more. Accept it and approach it by finding appropriate ways to release it. Even when something makes you angry, it's usually not a big deal after a day or two. How do you usually manage stress? I still meet patients at the hospital and work with soil in my garden every day. The reason I've been able to stay healthy until age 85 isn't because of medication, but because each habit has brought me to where I am today. The small changes I started 18 years ago at age 67 made me who I am now. If I had procrastinated and delayed like Dr. Park, I wouldn't be able to live the life I'm living now. Let me go through the checklist once more. First, check these 3 essential practices. First, eat breakfast. The combination of protein, fiber, and healthy fats is important. Boiled eggs with oatmeal and plain yogurt are sufficient. Don't eat fruit alone. Always consume it with other nutrients. Skipping breakfast can cause lunch blood sugar to spike dramatically. Second, drink at least 7 glasses of water daily. Divide it throughout the day, morning, before meals, after meals, and before bedtime, sipping small amounts frequently. Lukewarm water with lemon or cucumber makes it more enjoyable. Consult your doctor if you have kidney or heart problems. Third, walk for 10 minutes daily. Sunny morning hours are best. Keep your back straight and swing your arms naturally while walking. Wear comfortable shoes and always check for foot injuries. Now check these 3 things you must absolutely avoid. First, completely eliminate sweet foods and sugary drinks. They cause blood sugar spikes that overload insulin. When craving sweets, substitute with unsweetened tea or cinnamon tea. Always check ingredient labels when buying drinks. Second, don't overeat or binge eat. Remember the 80% rule, only eat until you're 80% full. Eat slowly, chewing each bite at least 20 times. Using smaller bowls naturally reduces portions. Third, don't neglect stress. Manage stress through breathing meditation, music, or short walks. Remember the breathing technique: inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds. Don't suppress stress. Find appropriate ways to release it. Do all 6 of these seem difficult? Don't try to be perfect from the start. When I started at 67, I nearly gave up after a few days of trying to change everything at once. What habit will you commit to today? You don't need to change everything. You can start by drinking 1 glass of water tomorrow morning or by switching to a smaller bowl. The important thing is to start. It doesn't have to be perfect. Add 1 thing each day, 1 thing each week. In 3 months, you'll be doing all 6 naturally. Health isn't built overnight, but small daily choices accumulate to create big changes. Your health 10 years from now starts with today's small choices. The reason I can be this healthy at 85 is because of those small practices I started 18 years ago. If you start now, you'll definitely meet a changed version of yourself in 10 or 20 years. In my next video, I'll talk about blood pressure management. There are diets and lifestyle habits that manage both blood sugar and blood pressure simultaneously. I'll reveal the secrets to living healthy without medication even at 90. Thank you for your attention.